Thank you for joining me on Mauricio's Corner, brought to you by JaxUSL. Week 9 of USL Championship League. We'll take you around league's table, see how the league standings have shaken up a little bit. We'll also have our game of the week, Oakland Roots visiting Birmingham Legion, and a great game, 4-1 results for the Roots. This is also US Open Cup week, 5th round, 7 USL teams still standings. That means cup sets are wide open. Teams looking to move from 5th round to 6th round. As a reminder, Sac Republic taking it all the way to the finals last year, only to go down to Orlando City, but a great run by them. Always follow us on our social media. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you to the producers of the show, World Class Media. Make sure you follow them for great content of world football. But let's take a look at this week's league standings. After 9 weeks of the USL Championship, Charleston Battery regained their spot at the top of the East, with the Birmingham Legion dropping a home game to Oakland Roots in our game of the week. Lou City continues to keep up with the top of the league with 14 points, only 4 points off of the top. Rowdies are slowly making up ground after a slow start of the season. Coach Collins has his team moving in the right direction, currently standing in 4th place with 11 points, tied with Miami FC. Out West, Sac Republic continues their strong form, staying on top of the league for the 5th week in a row, but the Loyals getting closer with only 1 point off the top, while El Paso, San Antonio, and Switchbacks are in lockstep with 11 points, sitting tied in 3rd place each. Still struggling at the bottom of their divisions, Hartford Athletics and Vegas with only 5 points each. Vegas still yet to record a win this season. As a reminder, it's a 34-week season. After 9 weeks, the cream is starting to rise to the top and create a little bit of separation. Teams are looking for a top 8 spot to make it to the playoffs by the end of the season. Well, let's take a look at the game of the week. Oakland Roots travel to Birmingham Legion. Legion was sitting number 1 in the East at this point. We'll take a look at Roots' style of play, a slow, deliberate possession team that really likes to build from the goalkeeper up through the back line in a 3-5-2, a slow, moving forward team, allowing Legion to get behind the ball quite a bit. Don't really create tons of chances in the attacking third, but they like to control possession as they move up the field. Let's take a look at some of the clips of this game. As you see here on the first clip, a team that likes to build from the goalkeeper. They're set up in a 3-5-2. They're nice and expensive. They like to move the ball forward through the lines here. Big gap in between. And here's where you think they're going to move forward with the midfield line, but they just reset and really make it a slow, deliberate possession through the back. You can clearly see there the 3 center backs, the 2 center mids that are hiding behind the front line of Legion. A lot of space for them to bring the ball up, but they just choose to stay a little bit farther back. They look up. They don't really take chances going forward a whole lot. Move the ball across the back line again. You'll love to see the center backs actually take that space, whether they make these really dangerous passes through the line. Forward does a great job of holding up play, but because they were so far back and supporting that build-up, not tons of opportunities to create 2v1s, 3v2 combination play in those wide areas. So a lot of empty possessions in the attacking half. You see here on the second clip, a little bit of the same. They're a little bit higher up the field, but the mentality is very similar. They just keep the ball around the back. Roots center mid comes out in front. I have 4 players behind the line. So the center back, rather than move quickly up the line, he stays back, which really slows down the play. You can see that he really wanted the ball forward. And same thing here. Look at the black shirts around. This is a 2v4 situation, if you almost. So it's a 1v1. You really have to be really, really good on the ball here. Try to create those opportunities. When they do get numbers around the ball, and you can see here now they have a 3v2 in those wide areas. Efeka comes in, he joins, create a little diamond, little 1-2 around the goal. And this is when the game really turned on its head. You can see there 45 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes of additional time. But center back got a hand on the ball, a bit controversial call. You can see there the Legion players trying to tell the referee, look up at the replay, but nonetheless, he gives the PK, gives a red card at the end of the first half, and Formella converts it to make it a 1-0 game at the end of the first half. To be honest, Roots didn't have a whole lot going for them in the first half. The Legion were significantly better, but nonetheless, they're up 1-0. They come back in the second half. Lovely set piece from a wide area distance. Parrish just puts it right into the mixer, as we kind of say, in the face of the goalkeeper. And Captain Martinez puts his head, his beard, his nose, everything into the play, gets his head in there, make it a tying game. The Roots did change a little bit in the second half. They're playing with a man up, so allowed them to commit more numbers in the attack. And it's what I was saying before. More numbers in the attack creates more of those 3v2 opportunities in those wide areas, and they get awarded a second PK of the game. Very soft PK once again. Referee still gave it 2 PKs for the first 2 goals. Formilla takes it again. Van Okel, veteran goalkeeper, makes the initial save, but on the follow-up, even though they thought the players were into that area, they had encroached into the space. But 2-1, now the game has opened up. Legion is going forward, trying to get numbers into the attack for the equalizer, leave a lot of spaces in between. Roots, fast players into transition. They brought in some fresh legs, and you can see here at the end of the game, 87th minute, a shot from distance, it deflected. Almost everything that could go wrong for the Legion went wrong. A team that really didn't deserve to be down, but nonetheless, going to the end of the game down 4-1. All in all, a disappointing game for the Legion. They felt like they probably should have gotten more out of this game. Disappointed with some of the calls. 2 harsh PK calls, a red card, not going in their favor. And at that point in the game, the game really opens up when they're trying to get an equalizer goal. Give Roots credit to putting the game away. 4-1, really the most goals that they've scored all season long. A team that struggles to score goals. They don't really get into the opposition's box a whole lot due to their possession, deliberate, slow style and the way that they carry the ball forward. But they'll take this result back to the Bay Area and hopefully to build on upcoming games. Well, this week is U.S. Open Cup 5th round. So let's take a look at the schedule for Tuesday and Wednesday games. In the U.S. Open Cup 5th round, with 7 USL teams still alive, looking for some cup sets. Reminded that last year's Czech Republic went all the way to the final against Orlando City in a very historic year. And this week, only USL versus USL matchup where you can see Legion taking Memphis 901, coming off of an impressive win against Atlanta United, one of the better games in the 4th round, going all the way down to the PKs. Plenty of exciting games, MLS teams, USL teams. You see there on California, Monterey Bay, really team that scores a lot of goals against LAFC, having a great season. At the bottom, Austin FC versus New Mexico United. A lot of regional matchups. There's still a lot of competition, a lot of rivalry in those tight regional matchups. Hopefully next week, we get to talk about some cup sets that took place, some of the USL teams advancing to the 6th round. And the next week's game of the week will take you over to the desert where Phoenix Rising will be hosting Hartford Athletics. 2 teams struggling early in the season. Hartford at the bottom of the East. They really need a result, but really both teams in order for them to compete for those 8 spots in the playoffs that are pushing. 2 teams that really should be looking at this game as an opportunity to gain points and move themselves up through the standings. Well, that does it for us here in Mauricio's Corner. Thank you once again for joining us. Meet us next week as we go over some league standings once again, some games, the game of the week, but more importantly, the U.S. Open Cup 5th round. Looking for some cup sets to go over here on Mauricio's Corner. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you around the corner. Have a great week.